Hello, hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, students. All of you are able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I will ask to all of you. How many of you have filled the examination form? Examination forms. All of you have filled the examination
Yes,
forms.
sir.
Yeah, great,
Yes, sir.
great. And the
Yes, sir.
process is like after filling examination form, the examination form we are going to get in a college login from we when we are checking your subject and when we are approving, then it is goes to university. Then you have to pay the fees. Okay. Just 1 minute. Only 18 students were joined. We will wait for again till again 2-3 minutes. We will wait. Then we will start. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hello, students. Hello. All of you are able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just I will share my
Yes, sir.
presentation. Okay. Okay, in last session we have seen the in the last session we have seen the uh, ratio analysis, their objectives. Okay, what do you mean by ratios? Okay, and what where which are the various types of ratios? The this all we are going to see in next class. Okay, trend analysis and comparative statement. Firstly, we will start with the ratios. This is important because the numericals they are going to ask you on this on in examination, the objective types of numericals. Okay, now there are four types of ratios. They have made a classification of ratios. Okay, the classification of ratios. There are four types of ratios: profitability ratio, turnover ratio, liquidity ratio, and leverage ratios. Okay, profitability ratios. Okay, this is again there are again in two parts. The profitability ratios were divided like relating to sales and relating to investments. The profitability ratios. Okay, turnover ratio, the turnover, stock turnover of your company, debt collection period, okay, the creditors turnover period, the turnover ratio, the turnover, okay, it's relating to uh, your turnover, sales turnover. Then they have again liquidity. Liquidity is a liquidity is the position of business undertaking to meet short-term obligation like current ratio, quick ratio, current ratio, current assets divided by current liabilities. This ratio gives you how much liquid you are able to, how much liquid organization you have. If you want to close down the company, you are able to pay or not. That they were going to tell you. The leverage ratio, these are relating to debt to equity. Okay, proprietary fund, it are relating to debt, or you can say the equity, the capital, you can say the leverage ratios. Okay, these are the four types of ratios. First ratio, this profitability ratio. This will again in profitability there are two types of classification they have did in profitability, relating to sales and relating to investment. Means for students it is easy to remember that profitability ratio relating to sales and relating to investment. Investment means relating to sales means gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, operating profit ratio. These ratios are related to sales. And relating to investment, return on capital employed, return on proprietary fund, okay, return on equity, these all are relating to investment. Okay, we will see one by one. Again I am going to tell you, all of you have to please remember that. If you are not able to view my screen, please tell me. I will make a full screen also. Okay, you are able to view my screen, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Profitability ratios based on sales. Okay, gross profit ratio. Okay, this ratio shows the efficiency of production and trading operations. It is compared, it is computed as follows: gross profit ratio is equal to gross profit divided by net sales into 100. It is always in percentage. Whenever you will multiply with the 100, the answer will come in the percentage. Okay, these are relating to sales. All of you have to, when you are going to solve the any problem, all of you have to remember these all types of ratios. Okay, gross profit divided by net sales into 100, this is ratio. This ratio shows the efficiency of production and trading operation. Efficiency of production means efficiency of trading account, trading account means manufacturing account, manufacturing efficiency it shows. You getting my point, students? Hello,
Yes, sir.
all of you with me?
Yes, sir.
The all why I am telling you again and again, all of you have to remember that why this ratio is we are going to calculate. What is the importance of this ratio? Okay, gross profit ratio, it shows you efficiency of manufacturing department or efficiency of production or trading operations. Okay, trading account efficiency means trading account, we will say gross profit we are calculating on in trading account. Gross profit we are going to calculate in trading account. Trading account gross profit means the production efficiency we are going to check. Production efficiency means manufacturing efficiency we are going to check. The gross profit, why we are going to calculate? To know the efficiency of production or trading operations. Okay, it is clear, students?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, can we move further?
Yes.
Net profit ratio. This ratio shows the relationship between net sales and net profit. Okay, net sales and net profit. How much net profit you earned and how much your net sales. The net profit ratio shows the overall efficiency of your organization, how much sales you have achieved and how much profit you have right now, which is distributable, which is eligible for distribution of equities to as a dividend or to pay interest and all that. If you are paid while calculating net profit, that pure profit you will get. You have to, it will show the net profit, the relationship between the sales and net profit. Net profit ratio is equals to net profit divided by net sales into 100. 100 means multiplied with 100 means the answer is in percentage. Okay, this net profit shows the relation between net sales and net profit. Overall efficiency we are going to know from this net profit. Okay, next is operating profit ratio. This ratio indicates the relationship between net operating profit. How much is our operating profit, net operating profit from operations, from the manufacturing, from the working of the organization. See here in the operating profit, you are not going, you are going to consider only sales proceeds, your overall sales income. You are not going to include any another income which you have got in the way of interest, dividend the company has received. You are not going to consider. The operating profit means only from the sales how much profit you have earned. That income you have earned is other income. Profit and loss account credit side we always write dividend received, interest received is the other income. Operating profit, it will not count that income, it will count only the net profit, operating profit from sales proceed after selling the products, after selling the particular goods to the company or to the customers, how much profit we have earned, that is operating profit. Operating profit is equals to net operating profit divided by sales into 100. Okay, expenses ratio, it means the ratio of each item of expenses to net sales. The expenses ratio are based on sales. Okay, expenses ratios are like salary to sales. Okay, salary to sales means salary you have paid 1 lakh rupees in this financial year and you have achieved 12 lakh rupees sales. What is the ratio that we can able to calculate that? Okay, just 1 minute. Next slide. Okay, the expenses ratio, this is first one. In that, cost of goods sold ratio, gross profit, sales minus gross profit, okay, or sales plus net gross loss, that is known as gross profit, cost of goods sold. Sales minus gross profit or sales plus gross loss. If you have achieved any gross loss, credit side, trading account credit side, if there is a gross loss, if you have a gross loss, then it is known as cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold, all of you have to remember that it is in another term also I will tell you cost of goods sold here, or they have written opening stock plus purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock divided by sales into 100. This is ratio comes, gross profit ratio comes. Cost of goods sold is equal to opening stock plus purchases plus direct expenses minus closing, which is cost of goods sold, divided by sales into 100, then gross profit sold ratio we are going to get. Okay, you getting my point, students? Hello?
Yes, sir.
All of you are with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
These all types of
Yes, sir.
ratios, all of you have to remember, and when you are solving the problem, these all types of ratios we require. Okay, administrative expenses ratio, administrative expenses divided by net sales. Okay, here we have tried in a numbers this ratio, we have not multiplied with 100. Don't give a sign of percentage. Okay, selling expenses ratio, what are selling expenses there? Selling expenses divided by net sales. Operating expenses ratio, operating expenses divided by net sales into 100. Operating expenses is equals to administrative expenses, selling expenses and financial expenses. Okay, operating expenses comes in that. Okay, next point, profitability ratios based on investment. Okay, profitability ratios based on investment. Return on capital employed ratio. Return on capital employed. Capital employed means what? Anyone can tell me what do you mean by capital employed? Students? Hello? Capital employed ratio. Capital employed. Capital employed is equals to owner funds plus borrowed fund. Owner's fund plus borrowed fund. Capital employed. To start, we have started a business. Okay, and we have brought our own fund 1 lakh rupees and 50,000 we have taken as a loan from the bank. 1,50,000 is our capital employed. Okay, students, capital
Yes, sir.
employed ratio, it tells you it is relationship between net profit after tax and total capital employed. Okay, net profit after tax. After paying a tax, whatever profit is remained, that profit we are able to distribute to that profit, we say that it is our profit. See here again, why they have told you a net profit after tax. Net profit after tax means firstly whatever profit you have earned, it's pure profit. See here, I have already told you while teaching in a first semester also, whatever profit we have earned, from that profit firstly we are going to deduct interest. After deducting interest, whatever profit remains, that is profit after interest before tax. From whatever profit remains after paying interest, from that profit we are going to pay tax. After paying tax, whatever profit remain, that is EAT, earning after tax, and that profit earning after tax, that profit we are able to distribute to equity shareholders as a dividend after paying interest only. See here, firstly pay interest, then pay tax. If profit remains, then distribute to equity shareholders. That is earning after tax. This is applicable to all the companies. Okay. Return on capital employed is equals to EAT plus earnings after tax plus interest divided by capital employed. Okay, into 100. That is the ratio for this capital employed ratio. EAT plus interest divided by capital employed. Capital employed means total amount we have employed. Our capital structure shows you balance sheet, asset side, balance sheet, liability side. First, capital, equity capital, borrowed capital. Bank loan, it is a borrowed capital. You know that. Total capital employed, which one you have to take. Okay, just they will give you a balance sheet, trading account, profit and loss account. From that, you have to prepare the ratios, different types of ratios. Capital employed ratio. See here how we are going to have a ratios. You can prepare that in that way. Okay, capital employed, equity capital plus borrowed capital. You can take earning after tax they have given, and interest, how much interest they have paid, that is available in the profit and loss account, that you can take. Then calculate this return on capital employed. This shows you the relationship between net profit after tax and the total capital employed. Okay, how much capital we have employed, this shows you the relationship between that. Okay, next is return on proprietors fund or a proprietors, return on proprietors fund or return on equity shareholders. Okay, return on shareholders equity means return on proprietor fund or shareholders equity. How much we are going to get in return, proprietor or equity shareholders. If it is a big company, then there are number of equity shareholders are there. If it is a sole proprietary firm, only one proprietor is there. Okay, proprietor. This ratio shows the relationship between net profit earned and total proprietors fund. Total proprietors fund and how much net profit we have earned. This ratio shows you the relationship between that. If you have employed more amount of capital, okay, as a proprietor, you are proprietor and you have invested 10 lakh rupees, but you are earning only 10,000 rupees. What is the use of that? Okay, if you have kept 10 lakh rupees, you are going to get good amount of interest in a year. If you have kept 10 lakh rupees in a bank, near about 7 to 8% rate of interest you are going to get. 7 to 8% means 10 lakh पे 7% कितना होता है? How much comes 7 lakh पे 10%? Students, tell me.
70,000.
70,000.
But if you are running a business, you are earning only 10,000 rupees. What is the use of that? That's the reason we are calculating this ratio. If we know the ratio, we will take a decisions. Okay. Return on capital employed. Return on proprietors fund. Return on proprietors fund. Proprietors fund is equals to equity share capital plus preference share capital plus reserves and surplus minus miscellaneous expenses and fictitious assets. I will tell you where the miscellaneous expenses are there and fictitious assets are there when we will have this particular problem. Or miscellaneous expenses are written in the asset side and fictitious assets are also written in a asset side, you can say. Okay, miscellaneous expenses which are preliminary, or you can say which are expenses which we have did usually, casually, that expenses that will be there in the, okay, please remember this also. Proprietary fund, proprietors fund means equity share capital, reference share capital, general reserves and surplus. General reserves means from every year profit we are keeping some profit aside. There is general reserve. That also we have to consider as a proprietors fund. Okay. Profit after tax divided by proprietors funds into 100. This is a return on proprietors fund or return on shareholders equity. This is the ratio we are going to calculate if they ask you. Okay. Return on capital, return on equity share capital. Okay, return on equity share capital. This ratio shows the rate of earning on equity or ordinary share capital. It is calculated at EAT, earning after tax, minus preference dividend divided by equity share capital into 100. Okay, pure equity dividend, equity return percentage. Then we have to deduct first preference shares dividend whatever we have paid on earning after tax divided by equity share capital, whatever capital we have, you are going to get in the balance sheet of assets, liabilities at first item equity capital. How much capital you have, you are easily going to get. Okay, and EAT you have calculated in profit and loss account. Preference dividend you are, they have proposed this much dividend they are going to pay. That also figures are available with you. You are able to prepare this equity return on equity share capital. Okay, there is a little bit difference between the return on proprietors fund or return on equity capital. Return on proprietors fund means equity capital, preference share capital, reserve and surplus minus miscellaneous expense and fictitious asset. Equity share capital means only equity share capital we have to take. Okay, students, all of you are with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
एक मिनट दिखाएं.
Return on total asset. Return on total asset is equals to EAT plus interest divided by total asset less fictitious assets. Okay, return on total asset. This fictitious asset never come every time. You can tell, just you can have total assets. Fictitious asset when it is there in the balance sheet, then you can consider, otherwise no. Okay, return on total asset, EAT plus interest divided by total asset. Okay, earning per share, EAT minus preference dividend divided by number of shares, equity shares outstanding. Number of equity shares are there, then you are able to calculate equity EPS, earning per share. Earning per share, you are able to calculate earning after tax minus preference dividend divided by number of outstanding equity shares in your balance sheet. How many shares? 10 lakhs capital at rupees 10 face value per share, then 1 lakh rupees is your number of equity shares. Dividend per share, DPS, dividend per share, dividend per equity shares divided by number of equity shares. Then dividend for equity shareholders, how much dividend we have kept for equity shareholders to distribute divided by number of equity shares. Then you are able to calculate DPS, dividend per share. Okay, then next is turnover ratios. Okay, we have seen just a first point, that is of profitability ratios. In that profitability ratios, there are two types of ratios. Again, they are divided. First is relating to sales and second is relating to investment. Relating to investments means this capital employed ratio, proprietors fund ratio, equity share capital ratio, EPS, DPS, total asset return on. These all are profitability ratios relating to investment. Okay, sales, gross profit, net profit, operating profit, expenses ratio. Okay, these are relating to sales. Then second part is turnover ratio. Turnover ratio. These ratios reveal the efficiency of business to utilize the resources for production and sales. Turnover ratio. This ratio reveals. This ratio will tell you the business efficiency to utilize the resources. Whatever resources the organization have, the company have, this ratio shows you how efficient you are while utilizing these resources. Okay, for your production or for your sales. Stock turnover ratio, first ratio, stock turnover ratio. This ratio measures the number of times stock turns or a flow in the year compared to sales. It is also known as inventory ratio, inventory turnover ratio or stock volatility ratio. Stock turnover ratio is equal to cost of goods sold divided by average stock. Okay, average stock is equal to opening stock minus plus closing stock divided by 2. Okay, or you can say sales divided by average stock. Stock turnover ratio means how many times the stock turnover, how many times in a year your stock is utilized 100%. Okay, it measures the number of times stock turns or flow in a year compared to sales, how many years it is flowed? Okay, stock, how many years it is flowed? Cycle, how many times this cycle happened? Stock turnover, stock, how many time turnover? Okay, this ratio shows you. This ratio also known as inventory ratio, stock turnover ratio, stock volatility ratio, cost of goods sold. How we have to calculate cost of goods sold? Anyone can tell me? Cost of goods sold, students, tell me how we
Sales
have to
minus
calculate.
gross profit.
Sales minus gross profit. Good. Sales minus gross profit. Then another way to calculate cost of goods sold.
Sales plus gross loss.
Sales plus gross loss. Okay, again another way.
Opening stock plus purchase plus direct expenses minus closing stocks divide sales into 100.
That is a closing stock ratio. Sorry, that is a cost of goods sold ratio. If you are not multiplied with the you are not divided with sales and multiplied with the 100, then it is a cost of goods sold. Opening stock plus purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock, it is known as cost of goods sold. Okay, students,
Yes, sir.
getting my point? Sales minus gross profit means what? That is there we are able to calculate. You can remember the trading account. Okay, trading account, debit side, opening stock, purchases and direct expenses, then gross profit. Trading account, credit side, closing stock, sorry, first item is sales, then closing stock. Okay, gross profit means stock, cost of goods sold means how much expenses we have incurred to manufacture that goods which we have sold. Then opening stock plus purchases, opening stock plus purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock, that is cost of goods sold. Okay, this is clear. Stock turnover ratio, how many times the stock turnover happened means like you have achieved like exam I will tell you, like you have achieved 2 lakh rupee 50 lakh rupees sales you have achieved in this last financial year. Your stock is I will tell you 2 lakh rupees. Okay, stock is 2 lakh rupees. Then you are able to calculate then stock cost of goods sold. Average stock is there, like opening stock 2 lakh rupees, closing stock 5 lakh rupees. Then average stock you are able to calculate cost of goods sold. How many times the stock turnover in your organization, that tells you this ratio. Then next is debtors turnover ratio. This ratio shows the rate at which debtors are being collected. Debtors turnover. Okay, the rate at which debtors we are collecting, how much debtors, how we are going to collect. The credit sales, how many credit sales were happened, how much period we have given, average bill receiving that period. Okay, this ratio tells you the rate at which debtors are collected. Like what is the ratio for collection of debtors, how much time we have given for the turnover relating to sales, credit sales. Then in next part also we are going to see the number of days, how we are going to calculate. Okay, credit turnover ratio, credit sales divided by average debtors plus average bills receivable multiplied by 365 days or 360 days, whatever days they have mentioned in a year. Okay, if it is not, they were not mentioned, you can take 365 and write a comment, I have considered 365 days in a year. Okay, then this tells you rate at which debtors are being collected. Okay, then next is debtor collection period, debt collection period. It shows the extent to which the debts have been collected in time. It is computed under number of days in a year divided by debtors turnover ratio. Previously we have calculated debtors turnover ratio. Okay, then we are going to get the debt collection period. We will get a days, you can say how many days, 5 days, 10 days, 18 days, 30 days, the days we are going to get debt collection period. Okay, then creditors turnover ratio, it shows the speed at which payment are made to suppliers for purchase made from them. Okay, debtors turnover ratio tells you the speed of payment. you made to the suppliers. Okay, it is computed as data creditors turnover ratio is equals to credit sales divided by average creditors into 100. This is a ratio. Okay, credit sales. Debtors means credit purchases. Debtors means credit sales we have to consider. Okay, I think here they have wrongly mentioned credits purchases comes. Okay, creditors may students. Okay, here creditors turnover ratio. I will write here just 1 minute. Okay, where we are. Okay, okay. Creditors turnover ratio. All of you to remember credit purchase divided by average creditors into 100. That is the ratio for that. Credit collection period, average payment period for the creditors is calculated through credit collection period. Credit collection period is number of days in a year divided by creditors turnover ratio. Creditors turnover ratio which we have previously calculated. Okay, then next, total asset turnover ratio, sales divided by average total assets, that is asset turnover ratio. Then liquidity ratio, liquidity ratio, this ratio, liquidity ratio, the position of business undertaking to meet short-term liabilities is measured through liquidity ratio. We are going to measure the liquidity ratio on the basis of how much we are able to pay our liabilities immediately or not. Okay, if they have asked you to pay immediate, you are able to pay or not. If you want to short-term liabilities, we are able to pay or not. That shows you this liquidity ratio. If you want to go for liquid, if you want to close down the company, are you able to do or not? You getting my point? If you want to close down the company, are you able to do or not immediately within a you can say within a year? Short-term liabilities, short-term obligations you are going to pay or not, that tells you this liquidity ratio. Then first point in that comes the current ratio. It is also known as solvency ratio or working capital ratio. That is the reason I have taken the working capital before this chapter. Current ratio, it is also known as solvency ratio or working capital ratio. It shows short-term financial position of business. Okay, standard current ratio is 2:1. I already told you this current ratio gives you it shows the financial position of organization, liabilities and current assets, shows the financial position of the company. Okay, we are financially sound or not. And again it show like here they will say that there is a current ratio, there is a standard 2:1 is a standard. Current ratio is calculated current asset divided by current liabilities. Current asset consists of stock, debtors, bills receivable, cash and bank balance and prepaid expenses. Current liabilities, creditors, bills payable, outstanding expenses, bank overdraft. These all are there in the current liabilities. Then next is quick ratio. Quick ratio, it is also known as acid test ratio or liquidity ratio. Okay, quick ratio, it is known as acid test ratio or liquidity ratio. It shows the solvency and financial soundness of the business. Standard quick ratio is 1:1. Greater the ratio, stronger the financial position is computed below. It is computed below. Quick ratio is equal to quick asset divided by quick liabilities. Quick assets means quick asset consists of debtors, bills receivable, cash and bank balance. Okay, and only in the quick ratio the particular stock of finished goods, stock of inventories never come in the quick assets. Quick assets consists of debtors, bills receivable, cash and bank balance. But if it is included it is included that this inventories of finished goods, that we have to deduct from quick asset. Quick liabilities consist of creditors, bills payable, outstanding expenses. We have to, whatever may be the liabilities we are there, but while taking liabilities we don't have to consider bank overdraft while calculating quick liabilities. While calculating quick assets we don't have to consider the inventories, and while calculating quick liabilities we don't have to consider bank overdraft. Okay, This is clear, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Already told you this is a topic. This is a ratios we have to remember at anyhow. How we are going to calculate it? Why we are going to calculate these ratios? We have to remember every time. Okay. Next is last point is leverage ratios. Leverage ratio measures the relationship between proprietor's fund and borrowed fund. Proprietor's fund and borrowed fund means capital structure ratios. Okay, capital structure. Capital structure means debt and equity in your capital. These leverage ratios have a relation between proprietor's fund and borrowed fund. Means proprietor's fund means equity capital, preference shares, okay, plus general reserve and surplus, and general reserve. This all comes under proprietor's fund. We have seen proprietor's fund. How? What do you mean by proprietor's fund? Here, reserve and surplus. This all comes under proprietor's fund. Okay, these leverage ratios measure the relationship between proprietor's fund and borrowed fund. It helps to measure the business ability to repay the long-term loan. Okay, debt equity ratio. It shows the proportion of debt to capital employed. Debt equity ratio is equal to debt divided by equity. Debt consists of debentures and long-term loans. Equity consists of equity share capital, preference shares capital, and reserves and surplus. This all consist in equity. Okay, equity capital. Equity capital, equity shares, preference shares plus reserves and surplus, general reserves, or minus fixed TS assets if they have given you. That you can do. But generally, this equity consists of equity share capital, preference shares, and reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus means every time so profit, some top profit we are keeping aside as a reserves and surplus. Okay, that is there in the reserves and surplus. This debt equity ratio, see here in your balance sheet, the bank loan is a 1 lakh rupees and your equity capital is 5 lakh rupees. Tell me debt equity ratio. Students, hello, all of you with me?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Tell me. Answer. Hello.
Sir, question please, sir. Again.
Again. Means you are not attentive. It shows you 1 lakh rupees debt and 5 lakh rupees equity you have. Calculate debt equity ratio.
1:5.
1:5. Simple. 1:5. This ratio tells you. This ratio 1:5 means there is a one times of debts are there, one, and equity is 5 times then debt. Okay, if debt is 1 and equity is 5 times, it will tells you. Okay, debt to total capital ratio, debt divided by capital employed. Capital employed we have seen how we are going to calculate. Okay, debt to total asset, debt divided by whatever many total assets are there in the balance sheet, that debt to total asset. Proprietary ratio, equity divided by total assets. Proprietary fund ratio is different, proprietary ratio is different. Again, don't get confused. Return on proprietary fund ratio. Return on proprietary fund is different and proprietary ratio is different. Okay, it's clear. The next is capital gearing ratio. Preference share capital plus debt divided by equity, capital gearing ratio. Interest coverage ratio, EBIT divided by interest. EBIT means earning before interest and tax, which is a pure profit we are going to get, that is earning before interest and tax. From that profit we are going to deduct interest and tax. Dividend coverage ratio, EAT, earning after tax divided by preference share dividend. EAT means earning after tax, excluding, means we have to deduct interest while calculating this EAT after excluding interest, that is EAT. Okay, this is all about the ratios. There are 4 types of ratios. Okay, firstly we have seen the profitability ratios. Okay, profitability ratios. Then we have seen the turnover ratio, profitability ratios based on sales, okay, and investments. Turnover ratios we have seen: stock turnover, debtors turnover, creditor turnover, asset turnover, total asset turnover, liquidity, current ratio, and quick ratio. Just remember these 2 ratios, current and quick. Leverage ratios: debt equity ratio, debt to total asset, debt to total capital, proprietary ratio, capital gearing ratio, interest coverage ratio, dividend coverage ratio. these types of ratios we have to remember, and when we have seen one, when we are going to see the problem in next class, they were definitely going to ask you some sort of ratios to calculate, and we have to calculate the data they were going to give you, which data required to calculate this ratio, the data they were going to give you, and we have to calculate the ratios, you can say. Okay, all of you have to remember this. Again, I am going to tell you, if all of you have to remember these ratios. Okay, this all types of ratios, all of you have to remember. Remember, there is no any option. All of you have to remember. If you want to be an analyst, if you want to do your career in the manufacturing or any of the good organization, manufacturing companies, you have to know the knowledge. You have to have a proficiency, or you can say efficiency in the ratios, you can say. Okay, efficiency you have in the ratios, you are able to calculate different types of ratios, then you have a weightage in that. Okay, now you will find the ratios are ready-made available on many websites, like you can visit the Money Control or any website. You are going to get easily the ratios, ready-made available ratios. Debtors turnover ratio is, they were going to do 3 times. 3 times. What do you mean by 3 times? Okay, what do you mean by 3 times? You have to understand what do you mean by debtors turnover ratio or stock turnover ratio, likewise. Okay, that reason I have taken from the book only what the mean they have given to you. Okay, it's clear, students? All of you are with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, just 1 minute. Okay, this is all about the ratios. Tomorrow we are going to see a problem in next class. 2 or 3 problems we are going to see. Then I am going to end this session, ratios. Then I will start with the chapter number 4 or 5. Okay, students, ask to all of your friends to attend the classes. Ratios are difficult.
Yes, sir.
Little bit difficult means the calculation part is there. All of you have to remember different types of ratios. Okay, different types of ratios we have seen. There are 4 basic types of ratios: profitability, turnover, okay, leverage ratios, liquidity ratios. These 4 types of ratios are there: profitability, turnover, leverage, liquidity. Okay, 4 types of ratios are there. Under of these 4 types of ratios, there are different types of ratios are there. Okay, each ratio, like capital employed ratio, it is relating to profitability, relating to investment. Okay, net profit, gross profit, these are profitability ratios. These are the ratios. All of you have to remember that. And how we are going to calculate, please remember that. Again, if you want, I will share the this ratios with you. Okay, in next class I will share. All of you have to go through, search it out. You are going to get a different types of ratios on a website, or you can have any types of book. You are going to get all types of ratios in that. Okay, students.
Sir,
Yes, tell me, Rutuja. Sagar.
sir, can you please share this PPT with us on group?
Yes, I will. Okay, I will share. I will share.
Yeah,
Okay, I
thank
will
you.
share. Okay,
Thank
I will
you.
share that. Okay. Anyone, anything else? Students? Hello.
सर हे MCQ ला कसं विचारणार ह्यातलं काय पार्ट विचारणार सर?